expressing my creativeness and my ADD attitude and unwillingness to commit to a single overlay. So, there's going to be a couple of different ones today. The traditional one you're used to seeing during the news, that one's still here. And this new one that I hope has a new, like, you know, coffee style, coffee club type feel to it. So I hope you guys like this one. So, because I am doing my best to try and figure this out. And for some strange reason, the chat's not showing up. Oh no. Okay, for some strange reason, buddy. More surface area for bloopers. Yeah, and obviously more surface area for a chat not showing up. Interestingly enough. Alright, so we're going to do this morning because the chat doesn't want to work this morning. So Streamlabs can... Well, no. Let's see what happens because somehow it's not wanting to work. But when I go in there to adjust it, it's working. So I've got no clue what's going on. Alright, let me see. Oh, there it is. There we are. Oh, thank you for the 1,000 bits, Hunley. Love you, sweetie. You are absolutely wonderful, and so are you, Mezzo, for the 55 earlier. All the support is absolutely... I try and find pretty good coffee memes and Tuesday memes. The thing that I have a hard time finding is tea memes. There's not that many memes about tea that don't involve Kermit and telling people that he's minding his own business. So there is that. If you guys want to submit tea memes for me to put on the show and gifs about tea drinking or anything like that, you guys know where to find me on Twitter and on my Discord. Just submit them and I can add them to the list. Yesterday, Google and I had a short falling out. Apparently, somebody didn't like the video that I uploaded. Yesterday, that was called I Refuse, an op-ed saying how much I absolutely refuse the ideology of feminism because they put me in a limited state for Google. Now, you guys are going to absolutely laugh your asses off about the reason these idiots gave as to, oh, I don't think I have it over here. Nope. The reason they gave for the flag was pornographic and explicit material. I'm just going to let that hang in the air. Me, pornographic and explicit material. Because I did a video called I Refuse. Now, some of you may wonder why. Right? I know, Neil. Alright, so this morning I am saying good morning and good afternoon too as my viewer list loads. A good afternoon to a Hunley and a Laura Bones. A good morning to a Mezzo, a Neil, and my wonderful husband, Ronan. A good morning to people viewing out there, which is an electrical skateboard, Moobot, and I saw a good morning Numbskull and a William W38. So good morning and welcome to the brew once again. Welcome back. Yes, it got, see, the reason I think that is why it got flagged is because I have never gotten... Your avatar. Thank you. Okay, the reason I think it got flagged after the I Refuse video is because I've never gotten flagged before or pinged or anything until yesterday when I uploaded that video, and a couple hours later I got the email saying my Google Plus was in a limited state. Well, I repealed it. I not only repealed it, but those of you who follow me on Twitter saw my longish kind of rant about the fact that, you know, Google is absolutely insane and that the flag should be taken off and I should have full capabilities on Google+. Not that I use Google+, but the only thing it's good for me is when I upload a video, it automatically, you know, touts it out on Google+. So it's nice to, you know, have one less platform to remember to post to. Did your video have a woman not... No, it didn't. It didn't have... It had my usual steampunk avatar standing in front of a background, and it was just basically audio, so you could listen to the 5 minutes of me talking. So, and that was it. Yesterday, I was on a live stream with HuffleRuff. Yes, for those of you that don't understand, that is an actual name of a content creator on YouTube. We were talking about Zombie Unicorn because he was listening to her latest live stream, and where she was going over what went wrong and her supposed apology. The only thing she took responsibility for, I think, from what I listened to, was her botching the lines in the supposed live action, which wasn't live, admitting that it was pre-recorded, and saying that she had reservations about doing it. Now, to me, if you are very passionate about calling awareness or drawing awareness to a certain topic that you feel very strongly about, the last thing you want to do is compromise your integrity or your trustworthiness by doing something that doesn't feel right. She went against her feelings, and now she's in the middle of this shit show trying to do damage control, and I don't think her damage control is going very well. I have 100 followers on Twitch, guys. I made 100 followers on Twitch. Thank you for all of you guys that are following me, that are here every morning for the talk show, for the news show, and having a little bit of fun and a little bit of a discussion. I absolutely appreciate it. I am a member of a Discord called Team Spock, and this is also a Twitch creator, a Twitch streamer, that he stresses that we all need to help each other out. We all need to shout each other out. We all need to follow each other and watch each other's streams, or at least lurk. In other words, listen to it in the background if you can't sit there and watch the stream all day. Lurk. But support your fellow Twitch streamers. And it's because of you guys and Spock and his team of people that I think I have finally gotten to 100 followers. So it's only up from here, guys. It's only up from here. And remember, I like to give back and I like to help you guys. So if you guys have a Twitch channel you want to shill out, !shill does your Twitch channel. If you have a YouTube channel that you want to shout out, !shout out, and Nightbot will shout out your YouTube channel. Thank you, Laura. So just like that. And so there is that. So along those lines, spread this far and wide, Friday at 7 o'clock, I am going to try this again. I am going to have a giveaway. The list of games is going to be at the end of the stream. There's 4 games I think I'm giving away, 4 or 5. In celebration of 100 followers. So please keep an eye out for that. And possibly, if you are on the stream, you'll be able to win one of those. And I am doing it by using Nightbot to choose the winner and the wheel kind of app thing from Streamlabs to figure out which game you actually win. So it's all totally random. Hopefully we can have a little fun with that on Friday. So there's all the little bitty announcements. Now we can get on with the tweets for the morning. Let me see here. Let me get this set up. That's up. Medal of Honor. Every Monday, the Department of Defense highlights a Medal of Honor recipient. The Medal of Honor is the military's most prestigious award for heroism. Since its inception, only 19 service members have received more than one. This USMC Marine was one of them, and I'm about to read you his story now. So that's kind of cool. Wow, that's the wrong one. All right, there we go. Let me see here. Yay! All right, rarer than rare. Marine Major General, one of less than 20 double Medal of Honor awardees. The Medal of Honor is the military's most prestigious award. Of the roughly 3,500 presented since the inception of the award, only 19 people have received more than one. Marine Corps Major General Smedley Darlington Butler was one of them. Butler was born in a summer heat wave on July 30th, 1881 in Westchester, Pennsylvania. His father was an attorney, a district judge, and a Republican congressman. Serving in the House of Representatives for 31 years, the elder Butler was chairman of the House Committee on Naval Affairs for most of the 1920s, which is quite a distinction for a person raised as a Quaker, a religion dedicated to nonviolence and pacifism. In 1898, when Butler was just 16, the Spanish-American War broke out. He quit school and tried to join both the Navy and Army. They rejected him because of his age. But that didn't stop the determined young man. He simply lied about his age and received a temporary wartime commission as a second lieutenant in the Marine Corps. After a few weeks of training in the nation's capital, he was sent with a unit to Cuba to secure Guantanamo Bay. When he arrived, the fighting in Cuba was almost over, but Butler was discharged from the Corps the following February. But he seemed to have his heart set on a military career of sorts. Back then, the Marine Corps consisted of only about 2,000 full-time troops, but due to its impressive performance in the Spanish-American War, which was being fought in two regions, against Cuba and Puerto Rico in the Caribbean Sea, and against the Philippines and Guam in the Asia-Pacific region, Congress agreed to triple its size. Butler applied for one of the regular commission slots, and he was reappointed a first lieutenant in 1899. Within weeks, he was on his way to the Philippines, where he experienced combat for the first time when the unit he led, consisting of about 300 men, was ordered to quell an uprising by Filipino rebels in Noveleta, outside of Manila. He later commemorated the occasion with a large Marine-themed tattoo. Hi, fuckwad! Morning! In 1900, Butler was set to leave the Philippines for Guam when he was redirected to China. The Boxer Rebellion, a violent anti-foreign, anti-Christian uprising, had erupted, and the Marines were leading the charge for the U.S. During a battle, Butler was shot in the thigh when he climbed out of a trench to save a fellow officer who had been wounded. His actions saved the officer, and Butler was promoted to captain for his heroics. 1903, Butler was sent to Honduras to defend the U.S. consulate during a revolt. He remained in Central America for nearly 10 years, leading his Marines into battle in Nicaragua and Panama. In 1914, Butler went undercover in Mexico City as railroad employee. His mission was to ascertain the strength of the Mexican army prior to nearly 6,000 U.S. troops landing in the Mexican city of Veracruz. After days of intense fighting and heavy sniper fire in the streets, Butler and his troops were victorious. For his assistance and actions, Butler was awarded his first of his 2 Medals of Honor. A year later, Haiti was undergoing a major revolt. Butler, by then a major, was sent in with a contingent of Marines to intervene. In October, leading a patrol of 44 mounted Marines, he was ambushed by more than 400 Haitian fighters. Throughout the night, the Marines held their position, and at daybreak they charged the enemy force, who fled. Later that year, with nearly all the rebels defeated, Butler and his Marines engaged in one last battle, a short, intense hand-to-hand combat fight. 1 Marine was injured, and all 51 enemy Haitians were killed. For his actions that day, Butler was awarded a 2nd Medal of Honor. Butler would go on to serve in World War I. In 1929, he was promoted to Major General, becoming, at age 48, the youngest Major General of the Marine Corps at the time. He retired in 1931 and began lecturing at law enforcement events before returning to Pennsylvania for his daughter's marriage to a Marine aviator. Following in his father's footsteps, Butler later ran for the U.S. Senate as a Republican in Pennsylvania, but was defeated. He spent the rest of his days with his wife, whom he affectionately referred to as Bunny. He passed away at Naval Hospital, Philadelphia on June 21, 1940, and at the time of his death, he was the most decorated Marine in U.S. history. So there's a little smattering of a Medal of Honor recipient history. So we're going to go on to what's going on next in the world. Let me see. Sweeney of the FTC is set to resign today. She turned in her Terrell McSweeney to resign. So Terrell McSweeney, who has served as a commissioner of the Federal Trade Commission since April 2014, has issued a statement announcing her resignation later this month. So she is leaving the FTC later this month. So it's going to be one less face on my Twitter feed. The FBI has a story to tell. Today, the FBI remembers Special Agent Wimberly W. Baker, who was mortally wounded in 1937 when he and another great agent were trying to apprehend 2 bank robbers. Special Agent Baker died from his wounds on April 17, 1937. So this is a Hall of Honor. And I'm going to read what exactly happened, so we get to see the excitement. On April 16, 1937, Special Agent Wimberly W. Baker was mortally wounded when he and another agent were trying to apprehend 2 bank robbers. Robert Suhay, and a man believed to be Alfred Power. On April 17th, Special Agent Baker died from his wounds. The agents had been in the U.S. Post Office at Topeka, Kansas, when a man they identified as Alfred Power entered. As Special Agent Baker attempted to arrest the man, Suhay began firing upon the agent. After the initial rounds, both of the robbers participated in the gunfire, which was returned by the agent who had come to Agent Baker's assistance. Both Suhay and his companion escaped, however. They were apprehended later that night in Plattsmouth, Nebraska. They admitted their participation in the gun battle and were removed to Kansas City, Kansas. Suhay and his associate, who was found to actually be Glenn John Applegate, was indicted for the murder of Special Agent Baker. They were convicted in federal district court in Topeka, Kansas during the latter part of June 1937 and received the death penalty. So there's a little bit of FBI history there. And from the Department of Justice, federal court bars Florida tax return preparers from preparing tax returns and orders them to disgorge ill-gotten gains. For any of you guys from there you go. From any of you guys from Florida, this may be of special interest to you. So I'm going to click this and open this back up again. So, Justice News. Federal court bars Florida tax return preparers from preparing tax returns and orders them to disgorge ill-gotten gains. On April 16th, a federal court in Orlando, Florida, ordered that Patrick Clark disgorge $500,000 and Ruby Rodriguez disgorge $100,000 of the proceeds they received for the preparation of tax returns, the Justice Department announced today. Clark and Rodriguez agreed to the orders. On November 13th, 2017, the court permanently barred Clark, Rodriguez, Tax MD Incorporated, and VIP Tax Services, Inc. from preparing federal tax returns for others. The civil injunction order, to which the defendants also agreed, was signed by Judge Carlos E. Mendoza of the U.S. District Court for the Middle District of Florida. In April 2016, the United States filed a civil complaint against Clark and Rodriguez seeking an injunction prohibiting them from acting as federal tax return preparers and seeking disgorgement of their gross receipts for the preparation of federal tax returns that reported false or fraudulent claims. According to the complaint, Clark owned Tax MD Inc. and through it owned and operated tax return preparation franchises in Orlando, Tampa, West Palm Beach, and Hollandale, Florida. Also, according to the complaint, Rodriguez managed one of the Clark stores in Orlando and owned VIP Tax Services Incorporated. I think we're all sleep deprived. A case of the Tuesdays. Yeah, a case of the Tuesdays indeed. The injunction entered in November stopped Clark and Rodriguez from preparing tax returns for others, and today's disgorgement order follows the government to collect proceeds they received from their tax preparation. So return preparer fraud was one of the IRS Dirty Dozen tax scams for 2018, and taxpayers seeking a return preparer should remain vigilant. The IRS has some information on their website about selecting a return preparer and has launched a free dictionary of federal tax, a directory of tax preparers. So there is that. So we're going to close that back out. And as always, I like to end with a pretty picture. And today's pretty picture comes to us from Badlands National Park. The picture is by Harlan Humphrey. So there is the Department of the Interior picture. They're kicking off National Park Week with free entrance to all national parks on Saturday, April 21st. So retweet to spread the word. As always, once this is archived, all the links and everything you see are going to be in that description, as well as in the description box after I edit the stream and upload it to YouTube. I know it does look great, doesn't it, Mezzo? It's absolutely beautiful. I love sunrise and sunset pictures, especially at certain angles like this, because it really, the way the sun is kind of breaking over everything is just absolutely gorgeous, and the different layers of color in the sky. It's very, very eye-catching. I absolutely love pictures like this. Okay, so it is that time. Alrighty, it is news time, and as always, it is not the weather we want, but it's the weather we're stuck with. Out of the National Weather Service, and the prediction is good through Thursday, April 19th, 2018. Heavy rainfall that impacted the southeast and mid-Atlantic will come to an end across New England today. That is one of the reasons that our dear beloved sheepdog is not with us this morning. He is having aches and pains because it's still a little cold and chilly and wet up there, and all that affects his chronic pain syndrome. So that is why our dear Merlin isn't here today. I am sending out prayers, loves, and hugs his way in hopes that he does feel better soon. So please keep an eye out as to whether or not our Syria Coffee Talk is going to be on for tonight or not. That all depends on how he is feeling. Late season snow expected for the northern plains into the upper Midwest. Critical to extremely critical fire weather conditions expected from the southwest to the southern and central plains today. The low that brought heavy rainfall to the southeast and mid-Atlantic will continue moving north in New England. Oh no. Heavy rainfall will occur this morning along with snow in the interior of New England. Some heavier rainfall will linger across northern Maine this afternoon, but most of the precipitation will come to an end by tonight. With cyclonic flow from this large and impressive low, it will encourage lake effect rain and snow showers along the lower Great Lakes, in addition to the interior of New England. I know, we all miss him. Let me see here. Heavy rainfall will occur this morning along with snow in the interior of New England. Some heavier rainfall will linger across, northern Maine. These lake-enhanced showers will last through Wednesday until the next round of precipitation. A mid-upper level trough currently over the Intermountain West and Great Basin will stay on an easterly course toward the central U.S. over the next few days. Rain and higher elevation snow is expected along the Pacific Northwest, Northern Rockies, and into the Central Rockies today. By tonight, most of the precipitation will taper off as the trough swings over the Central Plains. However, some higher elevation snow will linger along the Cascades and Rockies as the trough ejects into the plains. Ejects. That's an interesting word to choose when you're talking about weather, isn't it? You said snow. I saw snow today. Yeah, I know, right? Numbskull. It's frickin' spring and we're still talking snow. It's April. What's with this, right? Critical to extreme fire weather is expected today for most of New Mexico, parts of West Texas, the panhandle of Texas and Oklahoma, and portions of Colorado and Kansas. These are already drought-stricken, thus combining dry fuels with very low relative humidity with gusty winds. This will give way to dangerous, life-threatening fire weather conditions. By Wednesday, the fire weather conditions will lessen, but still be critical in parts of the southern and central plains. See the Storm Prediction Center for more information on the fire weather conditions. So, this is, I forgot to, there we go. Here's our map. We're not getting wet, but I am getting chilly. There's a little bit of rain over here in the Rhode Island area, and all this frozen rain and icky mix is just missing our Merlin. All this is snow and rain and, be careful, honey. Welcome back, Laura. There's lots of snow and ick and frozen mixy stuff all over the Midwest, so be careful. Morning, Penina! And we've got, for the actual temperature map today, let's see what it's looking like. Yep, we're supposed to be anywhere between the 60s and 80s. I doubt we're going to get there. Well, no, we do have a high of 71 today. So it may get up there. It needs to get up there a lot faster. The major portion of the red and hot spot is right over Texas. And, there's not so much green up there today for our dear Merlin, but I'm sure over the next couple of days, I am hoping it will warm up there. So that is the weather for the day. And now, on to the news. Good, bad, or indifferent, we report it all. Alright, here we go. Blip. Okay, here we go. Chemical inspectors to be allowed in Doma. And this thing is not... Okay, hi. You're supposed to be scrolling. There we go. Thank you for your cooperation. I'm going to get to... Okay. Chemical weapons inspectors in Syria will be permitted to visit the site of an alleged chemical attack on Wednesday, Russia has said. The international team has been in the country since Saturday, but has not been allowed to visit Doma. Early on Tuesday, Syrian state media said the country's air defenses had responded to a missile attack over the western city of Homs. The missiles targeted Shayrat Air Base, it said, but did not say who fired the missiles. Another report from the pro-Iranian Hezbollah militia said that Syrian air defenses had intercepted 3 missiles targeting Dumair military airport northeast of the capital, Damascus. Here we go. A Pentagon spokesperson told Reuters there's no military activity in that area at this time. Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons, when they arrive at site on Wednesday, it will have been 11 days since the attack. They are expected to gather soil and other samples to help identify the substances, if any, used in the attack. The U.S. envoy to the OPCW, however, expressed concern that Russia had visited the site and may have tampered with it to impede the investigation. Of course, Russian officials, who are Russian bots in disguise, you know, Merlin's always here, he does that at the news stories, denied the accusation and said that the April 7th attack was staged. Last week, the Moose Cows pointed their fingers at Britain as the ones who staged the whole thing. So, Moose Cow. I think spring has actually arrived for good this time. Oh, I hope so. Oh! Yay! Thank you, CurvyCom. Welcome to the stream and welcome to the Morning Brew. Alright, so, yeah. Now they've cleaned up. Yeah, I mean, it's... First of all, tensions between... In regards to Syria. Russian bots. Bots in disguise. Yeah, Russian bots. Robots in disguise. Exactly, Mezzo. You can tell that Merlin edits the stories. His little, you know, his spirit is in there. In regards to Syria, we've always had a tenuous relationship with Russia because we don't believe that Assad should be in there. But the problem with removing Assad is then another power vacuum is created. Like the one that was created when Hussein was taken out of the picture. Like when we got rid of Osama bin Laden. You cannot remove a dictator and not expect major ramifications to happen. You just can't randomly bomb people and kill dictators without having a plan in place to stop a power vacuum, and then which leads to a struggle in the area and more conflict. We don't need any more conflict. In my opinion, we don't need to be over there. We really don't have any interests in there other than humanitarian interests. There's no reason for us to be there, in my opinion, really. Of course, when it comes to foreign affairs and the like, I've always thought and taken on the isolationist point of view. I mean, we are having enough problems taking care of our own. Here we are running all around the world taking care of everybody else, being everybody else's caretakers. And I've never particularly liked that position myself, but that's the position that we have, unfortunately. And you're reading that headline right. North and South Korea reportedly set to announce official end to war. The news broke this morning. Ahead of a summit next week between North Korean Premier Kim Jong-un and South Korean President Moon Jae-in, lawmakers from the neighboring states were thought to be negotiating the details of a joint statement that could outline an end to the confrontation. Pyongyang and Seoul have technically been at war since the 1950-1953 Korean conflict ended with a truce and not a peace treaty. Kim and Moon could also discuss returning the heavily fortified, demilitarized zone, separating them to its original state, the newspaper said. A successful summit between the Koreas later this month could help pave the way for a meeting between Kim and President Donald Trump. The U.S. President and North Korean leader are poised to hold talks in late May or June, according to the Korean Central News Agency. Their names are odd, but my real name is probably odd to them. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's names over there in the Asian part of the world can sound weird and can sound kind of funny at the same time. But we also have to remember that in their culture, when we see the word Moon or Kim, that's their last name. They put their last name in front of their first name. So to us, they're always saying their name backwards, when to them, that is the proper way of saying their name. So it's one of those little culture things that you're like, okay. It is kind of neat. But I would absolutely love to finally see peace in that region. I mean, it's been, like they said, since 1950. A lot of people, when Kim Jong-un was starting up his stuff, were like, well, we don't have a war with them anymore. No. The Korean War never ended. A lot of people are under the misconception that the Korean War ended. It didn't. A ceasefire is not an end to the war. Different strokes for different folks, exactly. A ceasefire is not an end to the war. A ceasefire is just that. Everybody goes to their respective corners and chills out for a little bit. And then, whatever happens after that happens. I mean, how many ceasefires have we seen between Israel and Palestine? That doesn't mean the war is over. That just means they chilled out for a bit, went to their respective corners until somebody got an itch and started the shit all over again. And for North and South Korea, the itch was when Kim Jong-un was going against all the sanctions and creating the nuclear weapons that he, the rockets and having the missile tests and stuff. That was the itch. Now, if you ask Kim Jong-un why he got that itch, it was because of our drills that we were doing in conjunction with the South Korean army, which were, regular routine things. Morning, Mitch, go to your corners and at the end of the bell come out fighting. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. A ceasefire has never been a peace treaty. It's just that, a ceasefire. It's like, whoa, time out. All right, next story. Not that this is going to surprise anybody. U.S. says California rejects proposed border duties for troops. Yeah, you read that right. The Trump administration said Monday that California Governor Jerry Brown rejected terms of the National Guard's initial deployment to the Mexican border, but a state official said nothing was decided. Why does this not surprise me? The governor determined that what we asked for is unsupportable, but we will have other iterations. Ron Vitejo, U.S. Customs and Border Protection's acting deputy commissioner, told reporters in Washington. The Democratic governor conditioned his commitment on his state troops having nothing to do with immigration enforcement, even in a supporting role. Brown was clear last week that California troops will help go after drugs and criminal gangs, but not immigrants. Drawing that line will likely prove difficult because the Border Patrol combats illegal immigration, but also drug smuggling and other crimes. So there's what's going on in California. Not that that surprises me. I mean, they are, the progenitors, dare I use that term, of sanctuary cities. Mezzo makes me think of an event from World War II when both sides stopped to celebrate Christmas. Yeah, it does. It is reminiscent of that. I mean, they have been on a ceasefire since 1953, if I am accurate in my history. Yeah, I mean, it's so California's basically middle fingering the National Guards going to the Mexican border between Mexico and California. Of course, this is a sanctuary. Let's not kid ourselves. It's a sanctuary state for the most part. Not all people in California are bleeding heart liberals like the ones we keep seeing in the news. There are a lot of conservatives that live in California that absolutely abhor what is going on in their state. Cali is not being casual, is it? No, it's not. They're being rather rebellious, like teenagers that were told they couldn't do something and they're going to do it anyway. And the last story is another sad story. We have lost an icon for those of us that remember Night Court. Yep. Harry Anderson, Night Court star, dies at 65. Harry Anderson, the amiable actor who presided over the NBC comedy Night Court for 9 seasons, has died at his home in Asheville, North Carolina. According to a local media report, he was 65. Anderson was found at his home by police officers early Monday morning and said there was no signs of foul play. Anderson was a magician turned actor who is known as a rabid fan of jazz singer Mel Torme. The affection for Torme was woven into his TV alter ego, Judge Harry Stone, a quirky character who ruled the bench at a Manhattan night court. The sitcom was a mainstay of NBC from 1984 to 1992. Anderson earned 3 consecutive Emmy nominations for his work on the show from 1985 to 1987. After Night Court, Anderson co-starred as columnist Dave Barry in the CBS comedy Dave's World, which ran for 4 seasons. Anderson moved to New Orleans in 2000 to open the nightclub Oswald's Speakeasy, where he performed a mix of comedy and magic, and a magic and curio shop dubbed Sideshow. Scrolling up a bit. Okay. Anderson logged a guest spot in FX's Son of the Beach in 2002 and a 2008 appearance in NBC's 30 Rock. But for the most part, he stayed away from Hollywood. He moved to North Carolina in 2006 after New Orleans was ravaged by Hurricane Katrina. Born in Rhode Island, Anderson reportedly had a difficult childhood and moved frequently with his mother, who he once described in an interview with Playboy as a hustler. He moved to California at the age of 16 to be with his father. He became a street performer and reportedly ran a lucrative shell game on the streets of San Francisco for a time. Anderson made his way to LA's famed Magic Castle in the early 1980s, where he connected with an agent, according to TCM.com. He made several appearances on Saturday Night Live around this time. After Night Court made him a star, Anderson hosted SNL in 1985. Anderson's other credits included guest shots on Tales from the Crypt and HBO's Tanner 88, Parker Lewis Can't Lose, and The Jean Larroquette Show. He starred in the 1990 ABC miniseries adaptation of Stephen King's It. Fun fact, the show MASH lasted 3 times as long as the war it depicts. Yep, most definitely. I remember Night Court was very funny. Night Court was one of those where they captured lightning in a bottle. Very few sitcoms and very few television shows, to me, get the right combination of chemistry in between the cast, premise for the show, and script writing that all come together to form that lightning in a bottle, that once-in-a-lifetime show that you can't miss, that you're always glued to the TV for. It doesn't happen as much lately, in my opinion. I think script writing and story writing has gone down the crapper. Night Court was made by some of the same people that made Barney Miller. Oh, I didn't know that. That is cool. That is cool. That is totally cool. Alright, so here we go. On to the next segment. Shall we? We shall. Let's go. Let me see.
And now for something completely different.
Alright, so first recommended video of the day is Justice is Served. This is on Omegon's channel. A link is going to be in the chat. He talks about a woman getting 7.5 years for being the most despicable girlfriend. Enjoy prison is his opinion. Basically, she was very abusive to her boyfriend. Got caught, got arrested, and got 7.5 years in jail. Which gives him a little bit of hope, but not enough for him to be blindly faithful to what's going on in England right now. This is one of 2 stories he shows on this particular video. So that is Omegon. Next one is, hey, want to buy some art? This is Persephone. This is Persephone 66. And yes, that is what Persephone looks like. Our wonderful transsexual person. 2 weeks after getting a welding job, she was let go from her job because she wasn't fast enough at the welding. At least that is her theory. But in this video, she is actually showing you some of the art that she makes through welding, and some of it is pretty good, and she also has a link to her Etsy shop below. So please check that out and give her a little bit of your support if you can. And the reason that they're doing that, and the reason that she's doing that instead of, you know, doing a GoFundMe, is that she doesn't want charity. She wants to earn the money that she gets. So please give her support, right? Oh, finally. Yep. Selling. Yeah. Finally selling. Cool. Yep. Exactly. Red Robot. Now I'm just going to play you a little bit of this intro. Alright, here we go. Let me start.
Today, we are about to witness another highly anticipated match in Internet Bloodsport. For bragging rights, for shitposting for no damn reason but the lulz. Are you ready? Bloodsport fans, are you ready?
And that is the beginning of what is one hell of a music video and collaboration in between Red Robot, Mr. Scarecrow, Raven, and Gary Orsom. I mean, this is one hell of a video. You guys have got to check that out. The parody is right on point. And yes, they are taking the piss out of the Kumite and other internet blood sports. And last but not least, H3H3 is grossly offensive. Our boy Derek goes into how H3H3, or Ethan to be more exact, decided to make a tranny joke, and how the joke did not go over very well over, you know, the more triggered of people. But, you know, what can you say? He does defend Ethan. He does show the tweets, because, you know, this is some black guy. Yes, the parody was absolutely amazing. What I remember was this past Sunday when I was on Sunday Fun Day with Red and them. The only thing that was frustrating Red was that it was taking so long for Raven to mix it. But I understand that when you're a musician or an artist, you want everything to be just right. So it is going to take a little bit longer than most people would like you to take. But it paid off. It was worth the wait. It's one heck of a video. So yeah, it is one heck of a video. Alright, so for the funny today, since I couldn't find a Twitter hashtag, we're going to go back to my favorite guy, which is Single Dad Laughing, and we are going to go over some of the memes. So, some of the memes that he rounded up recently. Just saw 3 people jogging outside. It inspired me to get up and close the blinds. My boss told me dress for the job you want, not the job you have. Now I'm sitting in a disciplinary meeting dressed as Batman. If it's a solar eclipse on Earth, is it an Earth eclipse on the sun? Jennifer, I got the test results back. It's cooties. Yep, Zeus has finally showed up on the security cam. Maybelline, maybe he's born with it. Maybe he's it. Oh my gosh. PSA, the new iPhone costs $999. The entire Cracker Barrel menu costs $887.71. Make smart choices. Sometimes you have to reinflate the orange ones. I can't. Yeah, I can't, you know, control what he does on cam. That's just him. Thank you to those who continually invite me to things and events, even though I never come 98.2% of the time. In case of fire, please leave the building before posting it on social media. Just gonna leave that there. Just for a minute. Just the stupidity of it. It's not even a meme. It's just, when you have to make a sign like that, that's all I'm going to say. When you can feel yourself starting to fall for someone. So what do you want to name your company? I didn't give a fuck. You know you're all grown up when you actually pick up the ice cube instead of kicking it under the fridge. No, that means I'm not all grown up because I still kick it under the fridge. Nope, you actually need that. When you try to make plans in the group chat and nobody answers you. In bed. Me, hey, did you grab my butt, wife? Yeah, sorry, I was looking for the remote. Oh my god. Kids describe a perfect world. Koji the illustrator. The links for this is, I'm going to go ahead and put it in the chat. I still kick too. My favorite GIFs. Oh. He's ready to go. My favorite quote. Tomorrow is a new day. You shall begin it with serenely and with too high a spirit to be encumbered with your old nonsense. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Sometimes I start it with my old nonsense. It's not who you are that holds you back, it's who you think you are not. Interesting. Oh, random fact. In 1915, a 3-minute phone call from New York City to San Francisco cost about $20.70. That's the equivalent of almost $500 now. It all started with coffee, exactly. And for the Humble Bundle for the day, and yes, I framed that on purpose, so it looks like that. So it actually fits, which is one of the reasons I redid the overlay. Sci-Fi Week, up to 80% off. And this includes Stellaris, No Man's Sky, Elite Dangerous. This 64, 60% off. Homeworld Remastered Collection, Galactic Civilizations 3 Core Edition, The Talos Principle, Everspace, Osiris, New Dawn, Valley, Elite Dangerous Commander Deluxe, Sins of a Solar Empire, The Signal from Tolva, Faster Than Light, Prominence, Master of Orion Collector's Edition, Xenonauts, Rebel Galaxy, Homeworld Deserts of Karak, Ovorion, Stellaris Leviathan, Stellaris Utopia, Stellaris Synthetic Dawn, Stellaris Planetoid, Species Pack, Pulsar Lost Colony, and a whole lot more because there is still yet a second page. Praise Doug. Let me see here. There's our Vegas Pro software bundle is still available. 10 items. It is really cool. 8 days left on that. The strategy bundle has 7 days left. The early unlock. The early unlock is 17 days into this. This is for subscribers only. For $12 a month, you can get early unlocks for games that you either want to try out or gift to friends. It's called the Humble Bundle. And all these things go to charity. If you guys are interested in getting the $12 a month subscription, I'm sorry, I don't know how many pounds that is, scroll down underneath the video and click the Humble Bundle link. It not only helps them, but it helps me because I am a humble partner. So, yep, there's the disclaimer. Let's see, what else do we have? Yeah, he's starting to get antsy because I looked over in his direction. Let's see what we've got here. Oh, game studies. From MIT Press. Alright, here we go. Get the bundle. 6 days for $1 or more gives you Play Between Worlds, exploring online game culture, casual revolution, reinventing video games and their players, uncertainty in games, and so on and so forth. All sorts of different ebooks to pop open, look at, peruse, and talk about with friends. Maddie is humbled. Yeah. Bizarre books. 20 books. Alright. Oh, I remember this one. It's got 1 day left for K is for Knife Ball. Fart Tutorial. The Mustache Grower's Guide. Movies are fun. Zombies hate stuff. 99 ways to open a beer bottle. Rude hand gestures. And a whole lot more. And there's only 1 day left to that bundle. Every one of these bundles works with a charity. So a lot of these proceeds go to charity from the Humble Bundle that these people put together. So it is worth a look. So if you want to see the bundles that I talked about, as well as other bundles on the list, there is the link in the chat. And now for the live stream announcements. Let me see here. No, wait a minute. Game list first. Since I hit 100 followers on Twitch, once again, thank you. The 4 games that you see on the screen, and I say 4 because Sign of the Times is an extension or some sort of DLC for Mafia 3. These will be given away on the stream Friday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Game will be announced as to which game I am playing. I may or may not be sucking at League with Friends. I may or may not be playing Torchlight 2. I may or may not be playing SteamWorld Dig 2. So those are one of the 3 games that I am considering playing while I do the giveaway. And as I said at the beginning of the screen. Haha! At the beginning of the stream, the winners and what games they play are what games they win are completely random, done by random draws. Thank you very much for the bit, Hunley. Would you stop moving my chair, you shit butt? And now for the live stream announcements. As always, if you have a live stream to submit, you can DM me either through Discord or Twitter. Please do not forget to tell me the day, the time, and include the channel link and any title for the stream if it is a titled stream, like the Morning Brew or the Kumite or the Cuntstream, so on and so forth. So I can actually include it when I shout it out before I end the show. So already around noon, Failure Terminated is doing his Kumite. Wrenilations at 2, all times Eastern Standard Time. Proper Villains live 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Help for the Guildless channel. They are still doing the GoFundMe fundraiser for him. He is going to be homeless unless he gets our help. So please, 3 cheers for the shit butt. So please go over there and help out. Help for the Guildless. Jason, Brazeal, and Penina are both doing Let's Plays at 8. So you have your choice there. At 9, Scribe Light is hosting Lords of the Night. 11 is Cuntstream. 11:30 is Night Stream. And at midnight, Tuesday, Night News with Sylvanas, Dark Angel. So you have your choices for live streams later on in the day. All of these will be scheduled through my little Hootsuite thing to go out 10 minutes before each of these streams start. So if you follow me on Twitter, you will get, a pre-warning as to when the stream is actually going to happen. So yeah, I have to sit here and scritches somebody's paw so he'll quit barking. But, puppies, toddlers, what have you. They're pretty much the same to me. Yes, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the great debate. I know I was forgetting something. I'm the numbskulled one this morning, huh? So that is another one that I need to be scheduling for today. Are you still looking for guests, or do you have your panel full of guests? Numbskull. Just wondering. No. Alright, no worries. Gee, cool. Yep. Alright. Yep, so I will be helping you to see if we can get a panel up. Always looking for guests. Okay. If I am not doing something around that time, hopefully I won't be. I do have to make a couple of phone calls today. Might be running errands. I have no clue what I'm doing today, other than this show. But as always, my friends, thank you for coming. May your coffee ever flow. May your caffeine be ever strong. And may you have a totally terrific Tuesday, y'all. See you tomorrow.